Pisces. This reading is for Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to take a look at love, August 15th through the ends of the month. Pisces in love, August 15th through the ends of the month. Pisces in love. Pisces, for those of you interested in my giveaway this month, to win a free reading, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below this video. Let me know how messages resonate with you. Let me know your thoughts. And I will choose 2 winners at the very end of the month. Pisces in love. I'm hearing steady progress. Steady progress, but here's what I'm really picking up that feels super dominant. Some of you really still love somebody that you separated from. There's progress, there's healing, or they love you. Somebody would like a reconciliation, but the challenge is that Spirit is asking you to continue moving forward, okay? If you were to reconcile with somebody down the road, it would require a completely clean slate, 2 completely healed people. It would literally have to feel like a new lifetime together. It won't be a reconciliation on the heels of a breakup. That does not feel like it's of your highest good. Pisces, you may already know that. This could be their energy coming through. But it's sweetness, interestingly enough. Like I'm getting this sense of sweetness, and Spirit's using that word. Just like the sweetness around love. It does feel pure. It's almost like an understanding of, I have to move on from this. Even though I love you, it's time to move on. Maybe it's peaceful, but I do feel like somebody has a little less peace than the other partner. Perhaps you both still have love intact, but it does come through very strong about somebody maybe wanting a reconciliation that may not necessarily be of the highest good at this time, okay? Pull some cards for you. Pisces in love. Yeah, I get this sweetness, this really pure energy. So whether it's you still extending love to them still extending love to you, it may just be spiritually, it may just be in meditation, it may be in dreams, but it does come through pure. I will say that. Religious factors. I do feel like, there's a lot of soulmate energy that still lingers. There's soulmate energy and a spiritual connection that still sort of bonds you with somebody that you have loved very deeply. I do feel like for some of you, you may be channeling a partner from way back when. Like I was saying, to have a reconciliation with somebody, you would have needed to build and sort of rebuild brand new lives, like having like a massive amount of separation and coming back together after a decade or something. I'm feeling a lot of sweetness there. I'm feeling if that is the case, that may be a reconciliation that actually does show up and is very fruitful. A lot of energy around sweetness, fruitful, sugar, right? But it comes through as really pure, I will say. But somebody feels bonded here to a soulmate. Forgiving and learning is the challenge. They're still healing. They're still healing. For the majority of you, Spirit is asking you to keep moving forward. And there's steady progress, and you have been moving forward. You've been doing a lot of work. Make sure you're asking for help, asking help from your spirit guides, asking for help from angels, but also asking your friends for help, asking people who love you to be a support system while you move forward. Because I do feel like some of you may have been suffering in silence post-breakup. Even if you've had some distance from a breakup, there may still be some lingering emotion. I'm getting a sense of like a suffering in silence with you. I'm pulling you an extra card here. Bottom of the deck. I'm going to start with bottom of the deck, which I normally don't do. I do feel like this is what you may need to forgive, a lesson that you still need to learn from, or that hasn't come full circle with this. This came through very strong. This message came through very strong for Capricorn. So some of you may be dealing with Capricorns. You may have had a relationship with a Capricorn. Interesting that Spirit's guiding me to start with this, okay? But as you forgive deceptions, and it may not be someone being truly unfaithful, like serious deception, it almost feels like somebody stayed and they knew not to stay in a relationship anymore. They knew that they outgrew a journey and the soul was pulling them elsewhere. Spirit was showing signs and they chose to stay. That may not have been fair to you, but especially to the partner that you may have chosen to stay with, or if they chose to stay with you under those circumstances because they knew that it wasn't of the highest good anymore. That's not necessarily true textbook deception, but it's almost like someone wasn't being honest with themselves, maybe convincing themselves, like, I'm going to stay, I'm going to make this work, there's love here, we're family, we're doing this, when deep down you know. Deep down you know. The signs were abundant, okay? So for some of you, it's not necessarily even about forgiving your partner or an old partner. It's about forgiving yourself for staying. It's all good. As long as you learned a lesson and you continue to move on, it's all good. You're exactly where you need to be, okay? Now this card makes me laugh a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have a little kitten, a crazy little Gemini who I obsessively love. She eats everything. I don't know how she got into these cards. I don't know how. They were in a separate room with the door closed, and yet I see her chewing on the children card, which is perfect because she is like my little baby Gemini, okay? So as I hold this up to you, with the bite taken out of it, we're just going to honor little baby Gemini and all the children in our lives. But this is your first outcome card. This is about healing the inner child. And again, I do feel like some of you just need to extend the forgiveness to yourself. It's not about judging yourself because you stayed a little too long in a relationship. If you sincerely loved somebody, even if you knew you outgrew it, there was still love that kept you grounded. I keep feeling like this sweetness, this innocence. So for some of you, you may have stayed with the partner because you have children together. And that may have kept you in it a little too long, and that's okay because you still had pure intentions. Whoever needs to be forgiven at this time, extend it. Whether it's to you, to them. If you're cross-watching, you need to forgive Pisces. It helps your inner child if you do that. It helps children involved if you do that, okay? But what I love for you is this. There's a little bit of waiting and there's still a little bit of healing. We have attraction. I'm starting to see Pisces calling in new partners. I see a lot of people around you, Pisces, who would love the opportunity to meet you, to date you, to be with you long term. I think some of you have admirers that would give anything for a shot to be with you. And I think that you're too humble to see that or even acknowledge that. But nonetheless, I'm seeing like eyes circling you, more than one set of eyes. I know that might actually sound a little creepy. It's not creepy. It's actually really good energy. But you have somebody's attention. Spirit just said you may have somebody's attention again, okay? So for those of you who've had like serious separation from a partner, you never really thought you'd ever get back together, and all of a sudden this energy circles back, you may have somebody's attention again. For some of you, this could be a second shot. But it's for those of you who had truly moved on, healed, forgiven, you had sort of brand new lives, like significant time passed. It feels like it's a different lifetime. For those of you that applies to, seriously beautiful energy here. But the majority message is eyes are on you. There are people who would like the opportunity. The Spirit is asking you just to wait a little bit longer. You just have a little bit more healing to do. We have retreat, and worth waiting for was the extra card that I pulled for you. That goes hand in hand with forgiving and learning. The retreating is retreating inward. The retreating is doing that inner child work to release all that doesn't serve you anymore, to learn the lessons so that you are empowered moving forward. It's not victimized, it's not sad, it's not grief, and I don't get any of that from you, by the way, Pisces. I do feel you empowered. If anything, those of you taking a little extra time to heal before you jump into new love, before you entertain new partners, you feel completely at peace doing that. Other people around you may want you to move a little quicker, but if you need to heal and there's still something you need to let go of and forgive, you're taking the time and it is what it is. I do feel like someone who has their eye on you, that maybe you have been talking to but you're not really in a relationship with yet, they'll wait for you. They'll wait for you to heal and to come full circle, to be ready for them. It does feel like somebody's possibly waiting for you, but I will see someone feels like they're waiting for a second shot. They're waiting for you to pay attention to them again. That person feels like they're a little too close to you and it really may not be of the highest good. Someone almost expected to have a second shot with you, Pisces, and you may have caught all energy cords, you've done this healing, you moved on with your life. They could be the one healing at this time. They could be the one sort of dealing with the reality of, oh, wait a minute, Pisces moved on without me. Pisces sincerely healed and moved on and made peace with this. They still feel like they're waiting. Somebody feels like they expected you to wait for them and you didn't. Now they're waiting for you to sort of open the door and be like, oh, it's okay. I'm going to jump back into this because we've always done this before. You feel very peaceful. You feel very calm. You feel very grounded in whatever healing still needs to come full circle, how much more time it takes. It doesn't matter to you as long as you're moving forward. Somebody has their eye on you. I'm seeing an ex or somebody that you've dated, even if they're not a true ex. This may have been somebody you entertained briefly and sort of had to step away from. Somebody's looking at you like, when can I come back in? Are you going to give me a shot? Will you speak to me? Or is this completely over? But somebody here is still hopeful. I'm just not sure that that's of the highest good for you, Pisces, especially if you've done a lot of work to move past them. It doesn't feel like it's of your highest good to reconcile with anybody who you have more recently separated from, because you still need to heal. I'm not sure if they have healed at all, okay? Now, if you're cross-watching, you may be feeling it. You may feel like, well, I've done a ton of healing, but do you intuitively know that Pisces hasn't fully healed yet, or they haven't done quite the amount of work that you have done? You guys are not in full alignment. The energy is just going to repeat something from the past. Keep moving forward. Keep that inner child healing going. You're on the right path here. There is love for you, and I'm even going to look a little further beyond deception, right? We started here, bottom of the deck. I love this for you, okay? Two bottom of the deck cards. Honeymoon, stay optimistic about your life. I see some of you traveling. I see some of you honoring with the honeymoon card and all this water. Look at this. This is calm water. These are peaceful emotions. This is someone who is content. Somebody is content spending time alone. I think for some of you, it's not even so much about healing anymore. You just like your space because you like how productive you are. You like what you've been able to create with the space and this time away from other people. But stay optimistic. Keep energy around love. It's really beautiful and positive whenever it is of the highest good for somebody new to come in. Allow them to come in. You're not rushing anything. Now, for those of you who are not single and you're not allowing anybody to come back and you're not willing to let go, this isn't so much about separations, okay? If you were meant to separate, I feel like you would already have that clarity, and that's not what this is. I'm just feeling like, I'm actually feeling a really positive resolution about realigning on a spiritual journey, coming back into alignment with one another, the spiritual, the religious, priorities and journey, like really realigning with one another in a very positive way. But somebody fell off. Spirit's almost like somebody fell off the journey. They stopped doing their inner child work. They stopped working on the relationship. It's almost like Spirit's showing me like they sort of let themselves go. Maybe there was a catalyst for that, but that's why this is in the challenge card. Someone is healing. Somebody does need to realign with you so that you can move forward over the next couple of weeks healthier. I'm seeing somebody getting some help with something. It could be therapy. It could be a program for addiction or something like that. It may not be that serious, but I see somebody almost like realigning, two partners realigning because one of you has finally decided to heal and sort of regroup. Maybe the catalyst is because you do have children. The love is still intact and you have children and you don't want to walk away from your family, so you're going to heal and you're going to reconnect. This is very hopeful, but there is this sense of like healing and peace and some time apart, even for those of you in committed relationships. I'm not saying that I'm seeing separations, okay? I feel like if you have separated, you've already done that. So if you're still together, it's about repairing something and moving on. But I do see some time alone, some retreating alone to meditate, some retreating so that you can come back into alignment with your own inner peace and hearing like peaceful thoughts, so that feels very in alignment with meditation. Spending some time alone, journaling, going inward, okay, on your personal journey, or they may be taking some space from you to go to a program or to go retreat in the middle of the woods so they can meditate and do something really beautiful and spiritual so that when they return, they have more energy for you. For those of you in committed relationships, I do see healing taking place at this time. You may have been waiting for it. You may have been waiting for someone to have the courage to step on that journey and to get some help that they need, or to sort of come up and out of not necessarily a dark night of the soul, but just a difficult moment in time. They're doing that now, or you're doing that now. And there's still this love and this attraction intact, okay? So Pisces, I'm going to leave you with that. If you feel like you need more clarity, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings, for energy healing work. I'm only taking on emergency readings and sessions at this time, but I'm here for you if you need me. I will be back September 1st for your full month of September reading, but in the meantime, sending so much love, light, gratitude. I'll see you back here soon. Ciao.